Roster update number 3 officially released today. Even though it's kind of like a small one, not like crazy changes or anything, there's some pretty interesting ones that I want to cover in today's video. But que pasa to the pack? It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
2 things: follow the new channel, it is called Pack. I do my react stuff there, and also follow the Twitch account. I do live streams and play 2K every single day, so please check it out. Now, I'm already with the Philadelphia 76ers, as always, as is tradition, right? And the first most important one is Joel Embiid, 94 overall, making him the best center in the NBA, +1 for him. He is definitely in the MVP conversation, and I think he should go up. I think he should be at least a 95, and I think he'll get there throughout the year. Ben Simmons also goes +1. I mean, imagine that these two are playing so well, have the best record in the East, and they don't complement each other at all. It's kind of crazy how good they've been playing together. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton -1, but Bobby Portis +1 into the 80 overall club for the first time in his career. He has been a surprise for the Bucks. It's a shame the Knicks let him go, but hey, he's succeeding with the Bucks and helping them become contenders because they need depth, and now they got 4 players that are actually pretty solid, and who knows, they could actually have a pretty good season. Also, Dante DiVincenzo -2. He's a competitor. I'm sure he'll come back even stronger very soon. For the Chicago Bulls, Otto Porter -1 from an 81 to an 80 overall. You know, the thing with Otto Porter is like he's kind of one of those players that can go up and down throughout the year. But Thaddeus Young +1, almost back into the 80 overall club for a first time in a long time. This is one of the most consistent players in NBA history. I mean, look at this dude. It's like he almost always has like 12 points at all times. It's insane. But he's having a very good season for sure. Jared Allen for the Cavaliers +1, making him an 83 overall. I cannot believe they did not update Colin Sexton, making him the best player on the Cavs. I actually can't believe it, but they didn't. For the Boston Celtics, we have Jaylen Brown +1. Ooh, it's good. Hey, they're actually pretty close overall wise. I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's as good or better, but like it's officially as close as I personally thought it was. This close. That's my personal opinion. Kemba Walker -1, but he's coming back from injury. I'm sure he'll be fine. And Daniel Tice +2. Really putting his foot down as like, no, I am the center for this team. And Tristan Thompson going down 1 to a 76 overall. Serge Ibaka for the Clippers +1. I think this dude is basically becoming the obvious number 3 player on this team. It's a shame that Lou Williams goes down 1 to a 78 overall. Kind of struggle city at the moment. Ever since the lemon pepper wing situation, he has been questionable, honestly. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Brandon Clark back into the 80 overall club. Good for him. I mean, he dropped out, but immediately went back in. Kyle Anderson +1, almost into the 80 overall club, somewhere that he has never been to, so that's kind of crazy. For the Hawks, Trae Young +1 again to an 88. I think he should probably stay at 88 for the whole year, really. That's about where he should be. Clint Capella +1. He's definitely been up there. Him and John Collins probably should be tied for rating, but we'll see. Danilo Gallinari, though, the biggest downgrade in this roster update, -3 from an 83 to an 80. At first, he's coming back from injury, so I was expecting him to kind of, struggle in the beginning, but he keeps struggling, and he's not getting better, so that's definitely a situation for them. But DeAndre Hunter +2, entering the 80 overall club, and then some for the first time in his career. For the Heat, Tyler Hero -1, but this team has been riddled with injuries. I think now that they're kind of healthy, they're going to start winning some games for sure. Duncan Robinson also -1. Precious Achiuwa goes +1 though, so he's been a bright spot for this team so far. He's also been the only player that doesn't really get injured on this team so far, so that's another thing. For the Charlotte Hornets, Gordon Hayward +2. One of the bigger upgrades in this roster update, honestly, from an 84 to an 86. Damn, the last time Gordon Hayward was this high rating wise was like the Jazz. It's crazy. And then freaking Terry Rozier -1, so now LaMelo Ball is tied as the second best player on the Hornets, which is crazy as a rookie on a team that's low-key could be a playoff team. Rudy Gobert goes +1 from an 87 to an 88, making him the best player on the team again for the first time in a little bit. Mike Conley +1, going back to his form when he was with Memphis. I mean, this is actually a very good team, very competitive. Joe Ingles as well, back into the 80 overall club for the first time in a long time. For the Kings, Harrison Barnes +1, making him tied for the second best player, and I think he is obviously the second best player. I also think that Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield are pretty close too, but whatever, that's my opinion. For the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson +1. I mean, he is the defensive leader of this team. Without him, they do not have the number 1 defense in the NBA, straight up. RJ Barrett +2, almost in the 80 overall club, and I think by the end of the year, he should be in the 80 overall club for sure. And then Emmanuel Quickley +1, absolutely deserved. He has been a bright spot for this young Knicks team. For the Lakers, some big drops. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope -2 and Dennis Schroeder -2. You know, they're lucky they got Montrezl Harrell because they definitely needed a little more depth, and at least they have a third option that they can rely on. But like, everybody else has just been so weird and in and out. It's so odd, but I think they'll get right through the year. And I still have them as NBA champs, personally. For the Magic, Aaron Gordon -1 and Evan Fournier +1. These two flip-flop every roster update as the second best player, and it continues. For the Mavericks, Porzingis -1, but he's coming back from injury, so like chill out. Josh Richardson -1, he's also coming back from injury, so chill out, but he leaves the 80 overall club for sure. The Brooklyn Nets, Joe Harris leaves the 80 overall club, which I don't know if I agree with, but still. You still have these three juggernauts, which is just insanity. DeAndre Jordan +1, which is questionable, personally. JaMychal Green goes +1 on the Nuggets, and he's the only change on this roster. Miles Turner +1 on this team, the only change on the roster as well. But I mean, when you're leading the league in the blocks, I mean, you definitely deserve to go up. No Pelicans change at all, which is kind of surprising. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin leaves the 80 overall club for the first time in his entire NBA 2K career, which is just crazy to think about. And then Wayne Ellington +2, literally just for defending Rodney McGruder. I'm just kidding. He's actually having a good season. Fred VanVleet for the Raptors. I mean, after dropping 54 points, yeah, you're gonna go up +2 for sure. So 86 overall, making him the best player on the Raptors. Kyle Lowry goes down 1, so now he's not the best player on the team anymore. Pascal Siakam goes up +1. Chris Boucher goes down 3. Maybe they overreacted with giving him an 83 overall, but still, it's pretty low. For the Rockets, the biggest roster change upgrade is Christian Wood from an 82 to an 85, so big upgrades for Christian Wood. DeMarcus Cousins -2, and I think he's actually been playing pretty decent, but whatever. Eric Gordon +2 from a 79 to an 81, so all round changes. And Victor Oladipo is apparently on the trading block, apparently, so yeah. For the Spurs, Keldon Johnson +1, making him tied for the second best player on this team, and it's kind of hard to disagree when he's been, in my opinion, the most consistent Spur this season so far. I mean, he's having a good game every game and doing the same thing every game and doing it right, so I can't disagree so much. This is a big body dude. DeJounte +1 as well, so now that they're both tied with LaMarcus as the second best on the team. We'll see throughout the year who really becomes, or if Derek White starts to like get back into his like rhythm, we'll see what happens. DeAndre Ayton goes +1, making him the third best player. Now the Bridges goes down 1, so yeah, they flip-flop, but DeAndre Ayton's pretty obviously the third best player on this team. Cameron Johnson leaves the 80 overall club, but I'm sure he'll get back. Al Horford +1, back into the 80 overall club. Obviously the second best player on this team, at least points wise and defensive wise as well. Diallo goes +1, making him the third best player on this team, while Lou Dort goes -1. Malik Beasley +1, and if you see his stats against the Spurs, you'd understand why. Dude is automatic for whatever reason. Naz Reid goes +2 as well, which is kind of crazy, from a 77 to a 78. He's actually having himself a very good second year. Carmelo -2, which hurts to see, but he's getting older for sure. And Enes Kanter +1. If you had told me that Enes Kanter would be the third best player on a team that low-key is not a contender but a good playoff team, I wouldn't have believed you. No Andrew Wiggins change, which is crazy because he has been the second best player on this team easy, and he's been a fantastic defender as well, so it's kind of crazy he didn't get an update. But James Wiseman goes +2 from a 77 to a 79, back to basically where he was with his rookie rating. And then finally, Davis Bertans -1. And he probably deserves more than that because he's been terrible this season. And that is the roster update for NBA 2K21. Who do you agree with and disagree with? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.